In our last video, we got here to Page, Arizona, and we're actually staying at a campground. It's called the Roam America. It's a beautiful campground. I think it opened last year, and the facilities are just so amazing. And being here for the last few days has been an absolute dream. We got to explore Lower Antelope Canyon, which is something we've always wanted to do, but there are no videos allowed, unfortunately, but we took some epic pictures down there. And then we saw Horseshoe Bend again, but we wanted to see it at sunrise because last time we were here, we kind of saw it midday and it was super busy. So we've been up since around 5:30 this morning, and Arizona does not actually follow daylight savings time, and so it was a little harder to get up because it's a little earlier, but it's okay. We got up and saw a decent sunrise at Horseshoe Bend. The sun didn't actually come out, unfortunately, but the colors were just so beautiful still. But in this video, we have a long haul ahead of us. We're gonna be driving through 4 states, over 900 miles, to a new state we've never been before. It's our 49th state, which is so exciting. And if you've been following along long enough, you probably know what that state is. If not, stay tuned. We're so excited, but we have a long drive day ahead of us, so we gotta get going.
It's so funny to be in the car and knowing we have a couple of long drive days ahead of us, because a lot of people, when they talk to us, they assume that we drive so much since we travel full-time in a camper, but realistically we don't love being in the car for too long at a time, so 4 to 5 hours a day is quite a lot for us. But our goal is to drive 4.5 to 5 hours, hopefully making a stop, maybe doing something, stretching our legs. We're not really sure yet, but that's our goal for today, and we're excited to be going somewhere new, but not excited to be in the car for the next couple days. We're about 2.5 hours into our drive, and so far it's been so beautiful with all the different rock formations and hills and mountains. It's been really, really pretty, but it's been super windy, so our miles per gallon is not great right now because we've been going directly into the wind. But we're getting a little bit hungry, so we just pulled over to a gas station and I'm gonna make something to eat, and then we've got about 2.5 more hours to drive today, so we'll see where we end up. Goodbye, Arizona. Hello, New Mexico.
Woo! 1 state down, a few more to go. We are 2 minutes away from our spot for the night, and we aren't the best at planning out spots. We usually do a decent job, but this time around we weren't sure how far we were going to drive or anything, but we drove pretty far and we have our spot that we have no idea what it looks like or anything, but all the reviews on Campendium and iOverlander and all those things all seem good, so we're excited to check it out. This is called the Junkyard on Route 66, or the Route 66 Junkyard. And so it used to be a junkyard, but it still kind of is. But now it's also a pub house, a brew house, and it's veteran owned. I'm reading all the things that are around the building. And it's kind of a junkyard as well. I'm gonna roll down my windows so you can check it out as we drive by. But these are the newer cars. There are older cars over there as well. And so I think it's on Harvest Host. And there are a lot of campers here. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of campers here. And so I'm guessing it is a great spot, just like all the reviews say. And we are excited to stay the night where other people are as well. And look at this beautiful sunset at the end of the night. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. "313 miles down, 618 miles to go." This morning it is a cool 34 degrees. It was raining. We had some wintry mix, a lot different than what we were experiencing back in Page. When we were waking up, it was like 50 and it was getting into the 70s during the day, which is perfect because we love that warm weather. I mean, we love like the in-between. I think 60 with sun is like perfect. But yesterday we did have a long haul, longer than we expected. I think we drove around 5.5 hours, 6 hours. So we're gonna be driving just an hour and a half to Albuquerque. We've been there before, but we're excited to explore a little bit more. We do have a package coming today or tomorrow. So once we get that and do some stuff, we're gonna roll out and do our next little jut or segment of this drive.
We just got to Albuquerque and we booked a Boondockers welcome and the host answered really fast, so luckily we have somewhere to stay for the night. We were really hoping to do something outside and do some trails or just explore a little bit, but the weather's pretty bad, so we've decided to go to the gym, kill some time, and we just realized, or we just got a notification that our package is coming tomorrow, so the weather's looking a little bit better tomorrow, so hopefully we have time to get a hike in before we get our package and keep driving tomorrow. As you can probably tell, it is still super windy, but we've decided to get a little hike in anyways. I don't know if we'll do the whole trail because it is super windy and super cloudy. I don't think it's supposed to rain anymore today, but I guess we'll find out.
We're doing the Pinot Trail, and we're gonna do, I guess, what they call the short version because it is a little bit longer of a trail, especially with weather like this. It's not that it's super, not only that it's super cloudy out, but it's also cold and windy, which is probably the worst combination to hike in. Actually, the worst would be cold, wet, and windy, but we're braving it. We're gonna do as much as we feel like doing, and then we'll head back to the truck and head to our site for the night.
We made it to the end of the shorter trail. As you can tell, it does just keep going for who knows how long, but it's cold and it's 6 o'clock and the park closes at 6:45. So we're gonna make our way back now, and it is still super cold and super windy, but I'm really glad that we got out because it's still such a beautiful day. So basically the Boondockers that we're staying on like the dead end alley behind their house. So the front of the house has a driveway and the back of the house doesn't really have a driveway. We're not really sure which house it is because the house numbers are a little bit hard to find, but we're looking at the picture and trying to figure out where we're staying tonight.
So here we are at our Boondockers, and we are parked in an alleyway behind the Boondockers Welcomes host house. And as you can see, the sun has come out. It's literally right down this alley, and it's so beautiful to watch because we've been waiting for the sun to come out all day, but Boondockers has come in handy so many times. I think it's like $75 a year for Harvest Host and Boondockers, maybe a little bit more, but it saved our tail a couple of times. And since this is just a little overnight stop, it works out perfectly for us. But it is still windy, so we're gonna get inside and not hunker down, but hunker down and make some dinner, hit the hay early, and our package comes tomorrow, so we'll get that and continue on driving to our next spot, which is actually in another state, and we're so excited to revisit this state. And yeah, I don't want to give out too many details till we get there, but we're excited for it. We got the package, let's hit the road. Yes. All right, day 3. We're about 400 miles into our over 900-mile journey. Today we're heading into state number 3 of 4, and state number 4 is the new state. And so we're so excited, but we have about a 4-hour drive today. Let's get going.
He literally just stares at me until I let him come.
Yeah, look.
We were not expecting this. We're about an hour into our drive and all of a sudden it just started snowing. And now it's been snowing on and off, and it's like super blue sky. It's like 40 degrees out, so I guess it makes sense, but it doesn't seem like it should be snowing right now. Check this out. What is going on? It looks like rain, but it's snow. Grayson just put his hand out.
Yeah, what the heck?
We just made it into Texas, which is the 3rd state that we're crossing through on this trip. And we've been to Texas before, but never the area that we're going to stop in for tonight. And on the Texas sign, it says, drive friendly the Texas way. We've been in Texas before. I don't know if people drive friendlier or not, but we'll be the judge of that.
We have made it to Amarillo, Texas. It is our first time in the area. Like we mentioned earlier, we've been to Texas before, but we figured before we find camp for the night, we're gonna check out this awesome little installment. It's called Cadillac Ranch. And basically what it is 10 Cadillacs that are buried nose down into the ground. And these could have just been like junk cars or just cars that weren't running right or just old cars. And it was actually moved to this location because it was closer to the town center, I think, before. But as Amarillo grew, that property became more expensive, so they actually moved it to where it is now. So we're gonna check it out. I've heard many cool things about it, and just walking up on it, it looks pretty interesting.
Another thing to note is that they actually get 2 million visitors a year, and walking up on it, it kind of reminds me of the International Car Force that we saw in Nevada like a month ago. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot less cars, but these ones are painted and sparkly and looks pretty cool.
So Ashley and I were just talking about how weird it feels to be in a state that has like no mountains. Obviously we know Texas has like the Guadalupe Mountains, and there are mountains, but every direction we're looking in, there are none. There are rolling hills, but no mountains. And it just feels so weird because for like the last year, in every direction we've looked, we've seen mountains. So it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to while we're driving. Hopefully where we're going has a spot for us to camp tonight because it looks epic. If not, we don't know what we're gonna do. We have our fingers crossed.
Well, we drove over to Palo Duro Canyon State Park, which looks absolutely amazing, and they actually call it the Grand Canyon of Texas. And we were really hoping to camp here, but we pulled up and it looks like all the spots are full. We saw online that there was one spot available, and I guess it must be taken down and that there were walk-up sites. And yeah, it looks like it's full, but I think we're just gonna go find somewhere else to stay for the night, or we are going to because we have to, we have no other option. And then I think we'll come back tomorrow. And we did think that if you camped here, you didn't have to pay the entrance fee of $8 a person, but it looks like even if you camp here, you still have to pay the entrance fee. So
Sync has connected.
I guess we'll just go find somewhere else to stay, and then we'll come back in the morning and do some hiking, because just from driving in here, it does look epic. It's literally so flat, and then all of a sudden you just see a canyon, and it looks really cool. So we'll definitely come back in the morning before we continue on to the 4th state.
Last night's sleep at Walmart wasn't the best. It was pretty loud, but it got the job done. And this morning we were back in Palo Duro Canyon State Park. This canyon is actually the 2nd largest canyon in the United States after the Grand Canyon. They call this place Texas's Grand Canyon. It's 120 miles long, up to 20 miles wide, and 800 feet deep. It's beautiful. And we're so excited to explore this morning. We're starting our morning off with the Lighthouse Trail. We're just so excited.
So we're just over 1.5 miles into the trail, and we've been walking on clay, and all of a sudden it just got really wet. And check out my feet. My feet feel like 5 pounds heavier. I have all this clay stuck to the bottom of my shoe, and you can kind of kick it off, but then you take a few more steps and your feet are caked again. So it's kind of interesting walking like this, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. And so far it's just been so beautiful walking in this canyon.
We think that there in the distance is a lighthouse, and that's where we're headed.
We have made it to the lighthouse. It's right behind me, and this kind of looks like a lighthouse too, but I think it's just like a rocky cliff. And then you just walk on this little section that connects the two. It's insane. And then just looking around us at the canyon and the mountains off in the distance, it's honestly stunning, and it really does remind me of like a mini Grand Canyon. It's just like wild to think that when you're driving here, you're driving through like plains and farmland and just nothing crazy, and then this just comes out of absolutely nowhere. After finishing the last hike, we obviously went back to the truck and we drove over to another hike that we're doing. The last one we did was about 6 miles, and this one's only 1 mile, so it's a lot shorter. But it brings you to some caves, and so we decided to leave the dogs behind so they could rest and relax, because the last hike we did with caves would have been pretty difficult for them. We're in the cave, and it's kind of crazy because you walk in and it like literally just keeps going.
And at first it just looks like a hole in the wall, and you're like, that's the cave. And then you get in the cave and it's huge.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see that back there, but it looks like it keeps going into that hole. So I guess we're just going to see if it keeps going. But yeah, crazy. It's pretty crazy. We were not expecting this at all.
Texas, you are popping off.
Texas, you are going off right now. Yeah, look at this. It is so dark in there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see anything, but we're going to check it out. All right, we've got our flashlights out. Hopefully you can see. But yeah, oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Like, I don't know if it goes all the way through somewhere else. Grayson probably will not fit through with the backpack. I'm like squeezing. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely was not this. Gray, did you get through?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Slowly but surely. The tripod. Ooh, something's hitting something. Whoa, wait,
Look at that.
it goes this way too. Like it goes down that hole over there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just keep going this way because I see light. Oh my gosh, yeah. Look, it comes out from here. That's a tight squeeze. So this is kind of like the end. You can keep going up there. And there also are other little like side caves that you can go explore. And it's super tight and super dark. So I think we're just gonna go check them out and not show you guys. But you should definitely come here for yourself. This state park is like such a hidden gem. We just weren't expecting it to be this cool. We saw photos and we were like, okay, it's gonna be awesome. We have to stop here. But now I'm just like, wow, how come we've never heard anyone talk about this? Like I've never heard anyone talk about the state park before and it's definitely super cool.
All right, boys. Come on. Let's go. Time to go to our new state. Let's go. Come on. After a fun morning hiking, we are back on the road, and it's day 4 on the road. We are about 700 miles into our 900 plus mile road trip, and we are only about 130 miles away from our 49th state. Under 2 hours until we get to a new state, and we unlock the 49th state that we can drive to in a camper. It's a little loud. We're on the side of the highway, but after 4 days of driving and just 4 years of travel, we have made it to our 49th state, and we are so excited. I'm not sure if you were able to realize just by the direction we were driving and the areas we were in, but our 49th state, after traveling for 4 years and traveling to all of them that you can drive to, our 49th state is Oklahoma! We are so excited to be here. We are so thankful for every single one of you who has followed along our journey the entire time. If you're new, if you're not, and this is just like the beginning of our travel journey, even though we have been to 49 states, we feel like we've just scratched the surface of the United States because there is so much to see in every single state. But our road trip doesn't end here. We are driving another 2 or 3 hours to our final destination here in Oklahoma, where we will be exploring in our next video, and we are so excited to show you more. Oklahoma supposedly is known as the flyover state, and we find beauty and fun and adventure everywhere we go, and we're so excited to explore in our next video. So make sure you don't miss it, and stay tuned until the next one. We love you guys. Peace out.
Oh, and we can't end the video without adding our sticker to show we've been in Oklahoma.